I'm Jared Deenda, and this is Snap-on Tools Great Garages. We're here in Atlanta, Georgia to check out a unique shop that specializes in JDM vehicles as well as some drift machines. Let's check out Koruworks. Greg, how we doing?
Doing well. Good to see you guys.
We go back quite a ways, but it's great to show up at your shop, and Koruworks specifically. You guys have a great presence online, but it's cool to see the building actually. But if you could break down for the Snap-on Tool fans, what is Koruworks? What do you primarily focus on?
Koruworks is a performance shop based out of Marietta, Georgia. We mainly focus on import performance vehicles, so anything from Japanese right-hand drive cars and drift parts. We really focus in on the local community as well. So if your car breaks before a drift event or you need to get those last-minute parts, we usually stock an inventory of those parts.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people where they need anything from an extra set of wheels to a power steering line, the simplistic of parts, but many shops around here don't carry.
Yeah.
So we found an untapped market really for our local drifters.
You build some amazing cars. You have competition vehicles in Formula Drift, as well as in Pro and Pro 2. You support the Pro-Am drivers, but it's more of like just a cool retail store as well.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a boutique feel. So when a customer comes in, we want them to be fully wrapped in what we do here. So when you walk in, we have a gorgeous mural on the back wall to some really cool cars in the shop, and we want the person to trust us with that vehicle. And I think with our years experience, it really shines through from Formula Drift down to just the basic customer car builds. Our image kind of shows that, you know, you can be confident in the work that we're going to perform.
So Marietta, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. Atlanta in itself has an awesome automotive culture.
It absolutely does. Atlanta's been growing for the automotive culture from a very early age. You know, some of the earliest drifters stem out of Atlanta, and some of those influencers are regulars here as well. So we get this great new feel of young and old drifters coming in, visiting, and adapting to the culture around Atlanta and the Southeast even.
So beyond these doors, you have the shop, and it's kind of one big room. I can see beyond these glass doors. There's some awesome cars on here.
There's some really cool cars in there. I can't wait to show you. Yeah, we just got a new Skyline actually. I'd love to show you guys some of the cars.
Let's meet some of your technicians and check out the shop.
Absolutely, come on.
All right, Greg, we're in the shop. What are we seeing here? A lot of inventory, a lot of things, a lot of cars.
Yeah, everything from oils, hard parts on the vehicles, and a lot of cool cars to look at as well. This is kind of like our main showroom, so a lot of the shop cars is where we put on display for the customers visiting our location.
What's your role primarily here at Koruworks, and what's the history of it?
I am the sales marketing manager here at Koruworks. We're a little bit of a smaller shop, so there's about 3-4 actual people that work in this facility. The history of the shop, though, is pretty great. Been here for about 7 years. Started out as more of kind of like a fantasy factory, somewhere where we could kind of bring our cars and just wrench on them and lock the doors.
Yeah.
And then probably about the last 2 years, we decided to take our skill and kind of open the doors to the public. And so we did kind of retransformation and bringing in customer cars, selling out parts through the door, and we're really loving what we're doing now.
Yeah. 7 years old, how many owners and what's
so we have 2 owners. The original owner, Tyler Clayton, he founded Koruworks, and then we were lucky enough to have Kerry Brown came on from another performance shop just down the street and came on over, and now he's the second owner. You know, we've been deeply rooted in drifting. One of the owners has been with a pit crew for Formula Drift actually since year 1.
Yeah.
So we've seen the tides, we see exactly where we're at, and I'm very proud of what we've accomplished so far.
So it seems to me that you guys build a certain quality and caliber of vehicle, so that's why you guys choose Snap-on Tools.
Absolutely. With these vehicles that we have, a lot of them use specialty tools or tools you just can't get anywhere else. You know, you can't go to some of these parts stores and just grab the tool off the shelf. Snap-on always comes in for us, whether we need, you know, this specialty type of Phillips or whatever it is. These cars get taken care of using Snap-on tools.
So the cars look good, and a lot of cool tool storage. You see the bright purple cabinets and the rollers and everything around here.
That's one of my favorite things about Snap-on. You can bring your style into the tool. So it doesn't just stop with your toolbox. You can personalize the toolbox down to what color trim you want. Even our impact gun, we got a new high-vis color. Yeah. Gorgeous color, we love it. But it gets us hyped on our tools.
Right. So I mean, it's just like customizing your car, you're customizing your tools, and you know, you want to look fashionable, feel fashionable, that extends down to all your equipment.
Exactly. If you don't like how your tool looks, you might not use it.
Obviously, you guys are having fun here. You have all the toys, but one toy in particular right behind us, classic Skyline. This is new to you, but it's as JDM as they come.
Yeah, this is like the 69 Camaro of Japan. This is the pinnacle of what Japanese classic is. Right. And luckily enough, we were able to get our hands on one, and we just brought it in last week.
Well, Greg, here it is. It's not a GTR, but it's a GT. You guys are gonna basically strip this thing down and completely restore it.
Correct. The car is actually pretty great condition
Yeah.
right now, but we want to bring it the next step above. And you're right, it isn't a GTR, but the real GTRs are going for a lot of money.
Yeah.
These ones aren't cheap either, but we're gonna make it as close to a GTR clone as possible.
Well, it's awesome already. Well, let's crack open the hood. Super JDM.
Ta-da!
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It is, again, this is the muscle car of Japan, so we have Weber carbs on there. It's got a nice cam inside, and when you get out of this car, you just reek of gasoline, and that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Full right-hand drive, super JDM.
Yeah. This is the creme de la creme, the epitome of what Japanese muscle is.
Right.
The owner, Tyler Clayton, had to have one, you know? So this was his bucket list car. Lucky enough to save his pennies and finally pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, it's a really cool car. I can't wait to see. Is he going to keep it original paint, or what's going on?
Yes.
Any ideas?
So we're gonna keep it pretty close to original and kind of build off of there. We can't keep anything stock though.
Of course not. Well, we checked out the car. Can we meet one of your technicians?
Absolutely. I'd like to introduce you to Ryan Smith. He started out as an intern for us and now he's a full-time employee.
All right, let's meet Ryan.
Come on.
Ryan, what's up, man?
Jared, nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. Cool shop, cool opportunity from what I understand. You were
Absolutely.
You were an intern. Now you're a full-time employee. What would you say to an aspiring technician to work at a cool shop like this?
I would say anybody who wants to get into this type of work, this kind of shop environment, you really just have to go all in. You know, everyone starts somewhere. I can remember starting in my garage, wrenching on my old S13. But when you want to step to that next level, you really need quality tools. I got used to Snap-on tools, and I can remember my old days in the garage of wrenches just breaking, and you don't want that. You really want a quality tool. There's so many other things to worry about when you're working on these cars. You don't want to worry about a tool fail. And Snap-on really helps me just push out the work.
Awesome. So speaking of pushing out work, you did your own swap in your S13 and put a 1J in your vehicle.
Yeah. This shop has given me so many opportunities, and one of the opportunities it gave me is to really hunker down and build my own car. I decided to pull out all the stops and put a 1J in and just make it kind of my own drift car.
What's kind of next for you in the shop, and what's going on, and what's your day-to-day like?
It changes from day to day. We get walk-ins, and it might be as simple as an oil change, or someone wants to come in and bring us a car in pieces.
Yeah.
And we're tasked with piecing it together and bringing it just to where they really want it. And
Yeah.
that's what we strive for.
All right, Ryan, brand new box here, Storm Gray. Thing looks slick.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is the Classic Series box in a Storm Gray, and I know the theme here is purple, but I just couldn't get over this finish. I mean, I love the black trim. The box is set up great. And for starting out, you know, they're using the Epic Series, but with my tool collection, the Classic Series is just a great box to start out with.
So you're a small team here, you travel on the road, you're going to St. Louis, you're going different rounds. Your driver, when I say your driver, Koruworks,
Right.
Ryan Litteral's here, and can we go wrap out with him?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a great guy. You'll enjoy talking to him.
Yeah, I love Litteral. All right,
Yeah.
let's go meet him.
All right.
Ryan, what's up, bud?
What's up, buddy?
How are you? Good.
Good to see you
Normally,
again.
I'm used to seeing you out on the track behind the wheel of this hot rod or the pro vehicle, but you're also a mechanic. You work on vehicles as well.
I do.
And when it comes to your vehicle, I know you as a pilot of Nissan with an RB, and that's it's not a popular swap in this vehicle.
No.
Why that vehicle and why that engine?
Before this car, I was building an R33, but having an R chassis here in the States isn't the most feasible to have as a race car. I pulled everything out, put it in an S chassis, the rest is history. Then the opportunity arose to drive for the guys here at Koruworks, and I had so much fun. I took a year off from competition last year, and why not deem it as the professional party car?
I love it. I mean, this is not a wrap. So those of you thinking this is not a wrap, beautiful paint here. This thing's rad.
Yeah, my friend Jose Gonzalez from Riverside, California did a really good job putting this thing together.
Why Snap-on tools for you?
It's just the quality. Once
Yeah.
you start using them, you don't want to use anything else. so.
Right, you can't digress. What would you tell a young technician buying tools about maybe making the investment in Snap-on tools?
If you're going to be a technician worthwhile, and again,
Yeah.
if you want to produce quality work, then you're going to need quality tools to go with that. And I'll just say this now, my first tool that I bought was this 3/8 adjustable or swivel handle ratchet, and this is my favorite tool.
And you like the swivel?
I like the swivel. Yeah, you can get in and out anywhere that you want. They have other ones too now that lock,
Yeah.
and so you can lock in the position of the articulation that where you want and where you want to put the where you're working on. But this is great, and another one too is these the flush cuts. So if you're using zip ties and you just use like regular dikes, they always leave like a little bit edge of the tail.
Yeah.
It always cuts you whenever you go in. These two tools right here would just totally change your perspective and how you work and want to maintain your vehicles.
Yeah, and zip ties are synonymous with drifting because you're constantly losing body parts and body kits and all that stuff.
Everything is temporarily put on.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for your time. But this is your mild car. I want to talk about your wild car. Can I get introduced to who built that?
Sure, let's go introduce you to Kerry Brown and we'll go and take a look over this car.
All right, let's do that.
Awesome.
Kerry, how's it going, bud?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. You normally see you at the FD pits, either working on this thing or other vehicles, but you're one of the owners here as well.
Yes.
When was the first time you encountered Snap-on tools?
It was probably in 2006.
Okay.
It was my first time working with it. I worked for a company called JSC Magic,
Okay.
and all their tools are Snap-on.
Yep.
And that was my first time dealing with Snap-on.
You guys have really progressed this shop and bringing on Ryan Literal. Let's talk about this 350Z behind us here. Big supercharged V8 under the hood of a 350Z. This is a modern day hot rod.
It's a Mats 416, a long block with AFR heads. Makes the power.
How much?
850.
850. And by comparison to Formula Drift Pro, Pro 2 cars, where's that rank in your mind? Just the whole package?
I think it's the whole package. The car is really quick for the setup, the suspension wise. It's a fast car. And the power is not everything, especially the more power you make, the more tires you go through, the faster the car, the more tires you go through.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a balance of both. you
Yeah.
know? It's almost like an evil. You want more, but you can't have more. Well, what really attracted me to drifting was the style aspect. When we started, you could basically throw a bone stock SR in a car and you're a pro car to go drifting. And you basically had to have style or it wouldn't be exciting. And the excitement that's generated by people driving in that sport is unparalleled. You can't get that in any other motorsport.
All right, we talked about progression, you as a mechanic and a technician, but the progression of tools, how critical is that to have kind of the most modern technical tool?
Well, the reason you want to get the best you can get, specifically Snap-on, like wrenches, that's a big thing. You can't grab the bolt head, perfectly. You're going to round it out every time.
Yeah.
So when you buy a Snap-on wrench, it fits perfect on the head of the bolt, and you can get it off without even worrying about stripping it or anything.
When it comes to your tools, what's kind of your tried and true? What's your kind of most popular tool that you find in your hand more often than not?
The torque wrench.
The torque wrench?
Yep. It's very vital to make sure everything's torqued and don't assume it's the right spec.
Yeah.
Just by your hand.
This model specifically, you got the digital readout, and you can do all the specs as well.
Right, and it's got angle torque, which is huge. Because when you're doing a lot of factory head bolts and whatnot, you have to angle torque the head bolt.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Well, Greg, awesome shop here. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see that Skyline done, but top level cars deserve top level tools, right?
Exactly. And we couldn't do what we do here without Snap-on our side.
All right, well, thanks again. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Snap-on Tools Great Garages. Be sure to like, share, and also comment below. What's your dream JDM car?